And what's up, everybody? This is Listen Prince, and I'm joined today by Brad once again, right? And right now we're waiting on the top four action for Street Fighter V, and afterwards we'll have Guilty Gear Strive. And Brad, let's talk about this bracket.
Yeah, I mean, it's short and sweet. We got a repeat of the winners' finals of last week because they want to make everybody abundantly certain that they
Mm,
belong in there. iDom and Zaferino waiting up in the winners' finals once again. Waiting down in the losers' semis is ShockZSifu and nycfurby, young Art himself, who we did not see make it particularly deep into the bracket last week, but he made it
it
this
sure
week.
has
Yeah,
fixed that this week.
yeah, and the bodies that he had to put down to get there, it looks like he dropped into losers in the top 8 perhaps, but had to
Hmm?
eliminate Shine, had to eliminate Joe Umerogan.
Mm,
Oh wow, actually it looks like Shine eliminated Spaceboy, who I believe was in the top 4 last week.
yes. Uh, okay, so Arturo had to beat Flux as well. Had to beat his
Oh,
son, aka Adnan, in the winner's side.
I see. Okay, it was Metro M that sent Art down into the losers bracket.
Yes. Metro M unfortunately wasn't able to make it into the top four. I believe that. Yeah, they
Yeah,
went down to Shocks.
yeah, okay. Wow. Huh. So
Yeah, hard bracket,
presumably,
man.
if we're looking at these character matchups, right? We watched IDOM versus Zaf last week.
Mm.
Assuming nothing drastic changes, Poison Sagat.
Well, remember last week, Zaf played around
Oh,
with
right, right,
the
right, right.
birdie. So
I
maybe
didn't believe in it
the
then.
I yeah, it's kind of hard to be like, oh, I believe in this matchup. But I think Birdie has a better matchup against Poison. I don't think it's a good matchup. But I do think Sagat has the worst end of the matchup spectrum against Poison.
Sure, I
To
feel
be
like what
fair,
we end up dancing in that point though is like the matchup is better, but you're less familiar or less warm with
yes.
the character. So like, are you exercising the character in the way that you need to in order to
Mm.
squeeze out the better matchup spread? Or are you better off playing the character that you know better?
Yeah, I mean that's
But I'm
always
also
the
something
argument.
of a cynic.
Yeah, that's always the argument though. Like you're gonna like you play fighting games long enough, you're gonna run into bad matchups for your character, unless you're playing a super top tier character and and then the worst that they have is like a 50-50, something like that, which
Right.
which used to happen a lot, right? Like a
Yeah.
bunch of 6-4, a 7-3 here or there, 1-5-5 matchup.
Oh no, my one bad matchup.
My bad
Anyway.
matchup, it's 5-5. But anyways, we're gonna go into the match now,
Yeah, we
and
got them all
we're gonna
loaded up in the lobby already.
and
Just
we're gonna get to see
waiting for things to load in.
what decision Zafarina chooses. I mean, Idom, depending on what Idom feels like doing, like some days he'll play the Laura day, and then other days it'll be the Poison day, or it'll be a mix depending on matchup.
Right.
So
Yeah,
but
that's true
against Zaf,
too.
I think against Zaf, I think it's a safe decision to go with Poison because once you know what someone's main is and what the best they can throw out, and it's gonna be Sagat. All right, I'm gonna pick the matchup that's gonna assure me my best chances of victory. That's
Right.
why you have sub characters or dual mains, you should say.
Yeah. I mean, that's something that's interesting is I feel like I see far more dual main application in like Street Fighter
Mm,
5 than I saw in older titles. Like I feel like people
yeah.
had subs. Everybody like people have had a pocket, XYZ top tier character. Like that's been a thing forever. But like the amount of different people who actually like quite sincerely play two, maybe three characters at this really high level and can switch them around on a dime is
I
so
think
impressive to me. I can barely play
I think
one.
if you played a character for like 3 years and then you picked up another character, it's hard to be like your first character is not a pocket character. That's one of your main characters. And I feel that's kind of in the boat that Idom is with his two characters. All right, so I'm waiting on this loading. Here we go.
Right. Are
And
we going to be met with any surprises? Oh,
oh
yes, we
well,
are. I'm bringing out the G.
hmm. Yeah. So we definitely got surprised from iDom because and iDom has been working on this character, so he's trying to make it a triple
Yeah.
main.
Yeah,
All right,
I feel like was it one of the last runs of the previous runs of Community Throwdowns that we saw iDom run a whole bracket on the G and take the dub?
mm, I maybe G for most of the bracket, and then had to choose maybe poison towards the end
I mean,
just
maybe
to close it
you're
out.
right. Well,
I
Zaf.
mean,
Oh, I was about to say had a slight life lead, but tried to overextend to just a hair, and iDom is really good about checking those dashes when Zaf gets
yeah,
into range.
yeah, and iDom has a very different build. Like he doesn't really use V trigger 1 very often. He actually prefers V trigger 2. He likes the low medium kick confirm and into the raw damage.
Mm.
And then, as I say, all right,
It's definitely not the conventional loadout. Absolutely.
it's
Zaf
not.
still with this slight life lead here, and what I like is Zaf's complete willingness to use the V gauge on the defensive mechanics, and there's that sit the hell down button, the standing medium kick.
Yeah, I think this build isn't terribly good against Sagat, to be fair.
Yeah, my inclination is to agree. I mean, it's really easy when you see situations like that where once the trigger has popped, you can kind of sit there and be like, all right, how would things be different if you had the other V trigger on right now? And
Yeah,
G
also
would
to
have been
be
able
fair,
to
though,
do. Go ahead.
I said to be fair, that trigger 1 got weaker because now it's more tall boy. It's full jumping combos on him. Yeah, to be fair, like Sagat, not Sagat, G needs to actually have like, presidentiality levels up for the trigger 1 to be more effective.
Right. Which I suppose, given how slow the neutral has been, it's been hard for iDom to find the opportunity to do that. Zaf is going to be able to close out this round and take that first game now here over iDom.
Yeah, goes for like, like a slight walk forward, and when I say a slight walk forward with Sagat, slow moving character, that slight walk forward was, I don't know how many frames that was. I think some characters dash faster than that happened, but into standing roundhouse. But yeah, able to max out the damage, and we're going to the second game.
It almost seems though iDom is trying to use the V skill defensively to like absorb the fireballs and then see if that's going to be helpful, but it's been difficult. Although now iDom in the driver's seat has gotten into that range where he can really play that mid-range the way that he wants to. It's looking like a much cleaner round here. I don't think we're going to be able to kill.
But
oh
no, we can kill.
Nope.
By spending the EX. Yeah, like the thing, yeah, at that point in time, Zaf took way too much damage. It was in the corner. It was a rough situation. Plus, like, once G gets to like level 3, it's kind of over.
Right.
Unless you can knock him down.
Yeah, so it seems like that's really kind of the big thing here, is if iDom gets to that point where he can start to whiff punish or, block punish Zaf's more committal things, he's going to get these knockdowns and be able to get the presidentiality up, and the matchup's going to swing out of Zaf's favor. Oh no, tries to charge the V skill, does not get away with it. Oh, the whiff punish. iDom keeps, even if it's just a jab, iDom keeps checking when Zaf misspaces things or gets too antsy on a read.
Yep. And then having the fully powered up fireball, yeah, and all these trades are dead. Okay, very close to it. Safe.
This is
safe.
This is super tough for Zaf, and you can see, I love that from iDom. I feel like iDom's tendency so much now, maybe less on the Laura, but more absolutely on the Poison, and we just saw it with the G, is like the trigger pops, and he's weathered the storm of that immediate sort of 50-50 situation of like, am I about to get deleted in Twitter highlight clips, and just backs all the way off and forces Zaf to sort of make the mistake that costs him out the round.
I mean, if you think about it though, at that point in time, G doesn't lose the fireball when he's fully powered up. Plus, he has the B skill anyways. Clean jumping, he's gonna get 1 level. Like, wow! Actually steals the 2nd level, and now because Sagat doesn't have an EX Fireball to trade with. And
This
this
is
is
tough.
super smart. Yeah. All right.
Oh,
Gets the
okay.
knockdown,
Gets
gets
cooked
rid
with
of
the
that.
low.
And to
That's
be
good.
honest with you, Zaf had to do that. Oh no. Yeah,
Wow.
like that's another reason I don't like going for B skills in this matchup, because then he gets a level.
Right, and the level is absolutely a bigger deal than the V skill on Sagat is. And it seems like iDom has sort of wisened up to that tendency of Zaf's and is cheating out these levels more often.
All right, what's that? Oh,
Ooh.
it's gonna be some damage. Or actually doesn't go for any levels. Yeah, decided. Oh.
Okay.
And that was a really good like EX shot just to check movement. Alright, iDom trying to patiently get in, probably get a level. Presidentiality level, I mean.
Zaf being much more limb centric, but you can see iDom getting wise to that and spending that EX bar to earn some presidentiality off of the knockdown there. Oh, counter hit. Zaf was late trying to check the jab.
A little bit extra damage there. Not dead. Or I mean stunned, yeah.
Yeah, next hit for stun though. But you're not gonna live long enough for stun to really matter, so iDom's gonna do the same thing here, right? I feel like iDom's just gonna kind of back off.
That was actually the game.
Oh my god, Zaf. Zaf keeps testing him.
Yeah, like, oh, I think he's not paying attention. iDom is so good at paying attention, like, I think you're gonna do this punch.
See, it's the same thing. It's like we've called out. I feel like Zaf is getting frustrated and trying to get his own V skill stored. But every time he does it, it just gives iDom another level, and that is a much bigger impact on the state of the matchup.
Yeah, cause like iDom getting a level is more lasting than you getting a V skill. You only get it one use.
I suppose maybe Zaf's idea is that if he's using the empowered Tiger Knee, he's building V gauge, which gives him V reversals, which can cause the knockdown
Don't
to
get me
trade.
wrong. The move is better because you end up being plus. You're plus there now. Has to force out a V reversal, punish. What is it? And this is the Tiger Knee. All right, still got rid of the level. This is a good spot, but iDom does have trigger.
Ooh, nice hit confirmed from Zaf. Are we gonna be able to close the round out? Oh my god, this man wanted out. Fireball in just the right spot, catches iDom on the anti-air. iDom, no, Zaf is getting blown up a little bit with these blocked sweeps here.
Yeah.
25 seconds left, Zaf stuck in the corner. iDom with trigger, but the walk up, crouch jab, Zaf is up 2-1.
Yeah, I think that was a good change of pace there, that micro walk forward. Because once you threw it, like he threw a bunch of fireballs in the corner, obviously, maybe iDom trying to figure out what the timing is, maybe trying to EX heel kick through it, use the projectile invincibility, and then the slight little hesitation and walk forward just change up the pacing of it. Look like I kind of threw iDom off a little bit. But Zaf up 2-1 in this rate of 5 sets.
A lot more patient in the mid-range this time as Zaf, and I feel like maybe wise to how much iDom is specifically watching to whiff punish. Oh, corpse hop. We don't see the back throw, smart, but there's the stun.
That's plus.
This is a great round for Zaf, even with this crush counter starter here.
That could change
iDom
from this positioning. Oh, never mind. If iDom was going to win, he could have won from that positioning, being very close to corner. You know, like obviously that command grab. I don't need to talk about how strong that tool is.
Right, but at the same time, what I have noticed, I'm not overwhelmingly familiar with this V trigger loadout, and I'm kind of seeing I feel like the other V trigger is much more volatile in how big a swing it can have. This one seems like it's not bringing as much damage to the table. I find myself wondering what it is that iDom prefers about it.
I think I don't know, like maybe he just kind of likes a slow play game. Maybe because maybe he likes that low medium kick. You see him representing low medium kick a lot. Maybe he likes that low medium kick gets a hit confirm. It is a good button. Don't get me wrong. And also the trigger is I say it's less precious with his loadout, because the trigger 1 is very precious. You kind of don't want to use Bureaus. You want the trigger.
Right. That's a good point too.
Yeah. So like, since trigger is less precious, then you get to exercise usage of B-reversal and B-shift.
Oh wow, what a great read from Zaf. Calls it out from iDom, and the shimmy works. Zaf now with the life lead. Trigger is gone, just barely alive. iDom has full CA. Watch, I mean, we could chip out at any point, but iDom also has the life lead, so he's not going to want to do it. Full screen rush punch, yeah.
To be honest with you, if I were Zaf, I would be doing nothing else but chucking out fireballs at him, because I would want to chip. I'd be like, yo, I want you to chip me out.
Yeah, spend that cash.
Yeah, I want you to chip me out, or at the very least, use one EX move.
Well, now we're in a tougher spot, although iDom's cashed out a lot to try to take control of this matchup.
I agree. And the thing is, though, like, the V skill did get weaker. So you see, like, sometimes iDom gets hit and it says counter hit, because the projectile invincibility starts a little bit later. So like, where it was kind of detrimental to throw fireballs, it's a little easier to throw fireballs now.
Nice pickup from Zaf. Little shimmy does not work. iDom does not take the bait, but now look at all this gray life. What a great standing medium kick there. That did so much off that gray life.
Yeah, you got a slight punish with that V-shift. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What a command grab.
Yeah, and I feel like Zaf got a little bit antsy there. I think he lost sight of what he was doing. It felt like he was making a couple of less informed decisions. I feel like he was playing a little bit looser at the very end of that round.
I mean, once you have such a lead, I think a lot of players, they get kind of like overconfident. They're like, you know what, I can close this out, right? Like, I have the mental advantage, I have the life advantage. You know, they might start like, dare I say, cower a little bit, be more defensive. And from my experience, that can happen, yes. But then you have those dudes that are caged animals and they lash out.
Right. Well, we are 2-2 here, and okay, Zaf finally trying to be more of the aggressor and keeping iDom from just getting these stores for free. iDom stuck against the corner, but that presidentiality is still high enough that it's harder to contend with the fireball here.
That gray health is getting tacked on. Oh, I wonder what would have happened if Zaf had hit a jumper on us there. Would it have traded?
Oh, wow. Okay, iDom a little bit hungry to get out of the corner now. There's the trigger activation.
The back throw. It's not a great spot to be in.
Oh, Zaf asleep at the wheel, actually. Once again, gets clipped trying to check the dash too late. iDom has the life lead now off of this chip damage.
Yeah, iDom has much more than life lead. It has a positional advantage, too. Oh, yeah, Virus is not going to work on that a little bit too far. Yep. And the extra, the thing about that, it's going to trade if they're like, if they're any level greater than 1. Oh, that's good punish on that. Yep. Yeah, the thing is, though, you have to prevent him from getting a level at all costs.
Right. I feel like that is kind of the thing that iDom will have struggled with, and obviously, or Zaf will have struggled with, rather. And obviously, I mean, you can only do so much if iDom gets the knockdown, right? But
Yeah, right now this is the roughest spot to be in. Wait.
Okay.
All right, gets the knockdown, keeps the trigger. Doesn't go for any extra damage. Easy. No, it doesn't even have
Nice.
to. Yeah, that was
because he had the V skill store.
Yeah, and then you would have been able to do EX Tiger Upcut just in case item did survive.
All right. Well, we're on the last round here.
Alright. Oh, a little bit too far for the counter conversion.
Yeah.
Alright, item does have another EX.
Ooh, I like that from Zaf. The sort of autopilot sequence from iDom had been to just meet sweep with sweep, but it looks like Zaf spaced it specifically to bait it.
Kind of an overwhelming lead now, but as I say that, below forward confirm gets one presidentiality level.
And this is huge now. It's like you said, look at how much it's already going to swing. Zaf trying to use this neutral jump specifically to try to contend with getting around this fireball.
Gets hit by item.
Oh my god.
It's not gonna kill, but oh no!
Oh, Zaf.
it was a scary spot to be in. Like that was kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation.
Right.
But
he hadn't reversal DP'd once through the set. If you're gonna bring it out, bringing it out last game, last round is like
but at
not
the same
a bad
time,
place.
though, at the same time, against a player that is so aware of risk versus reward, if you look at that, if iDom had went for a grab or anything, the EXDP would have killed him and he would have lost the set. Right?
Right.
And likewise,
Zaf turned it into a coin flip.
Yes. So Zaf turned into a coin flip, and then you look at iDom. iDom is very risk averse in a lot of his play.
Right.
So, like, I knock you down, I'm definitely gonna lose this set if you do EXDP. Right? Or if he could have went for elaborate bait, like neutral jumping on it. Right? But if you or forward jumping and get a cross up, but then you put yourself in the corner. And iDom didn't do any of that.
Right, he just blocked. He's just like, all right, I'm gonna give it that extra second just to check and make sure. It's that clutch factor to have that call in that moment. I was not thinking about DP until Zaf did it, and as soon as he did, I was like, oh, that's like such a smart DP, but also, oh my god, what a transparent DP.
That was a no choice DP and if you're in that situation, like. What if he did command grab?
Right. I mean, if he did literally anything except block, he lost.
Yeah. But the thing is, though, well, iDom's choice in that situation was he didn't just block. So, like look at what he did. So when he did that, he kind of walked forward, then he started walking backwards a little bit. Now, what that would do is he's gonna block the EXDP. And then he cross blocks, so he's gonna block the low. If you jump forward, he's going to be able to anti-air you too. Like, everything in that situation was just to stop you from doing anything of any kind of work. All right, but iDom moves on in a very close set. Now we're gonna have Arturo versus Shocks. I'm
not super familiar with Shocks.
Well, Shocks has been to quite a few of these. Very, very strong Alex player. Has done very well in multiple tournaments I've seen. I'm not really sure how. I think he plays well in these as well.
Maybe I'm just not recalling today. I like the representation of the Christmas spirit. Oh, the V trigger parry now working out.
Yeah, really not working out. Now you're in the corner. Yeah, 100% not working out. That parry, that one parry, everything went downhill.
Yeah.
Got put on the naughty list.
That's the future that Alex players want. Or at the very least, it's the future that people think that Alex players want.
I know, Dhalsim got put on the naughty list, but got all the gifts. Alright, nice checks with standing medium kick. Arturo playing a little bit more neutral, like at that spacing. But Shocks, you know what? Shocks is doing a good job of just paying attention to what Arturo wants to do when he
like the elbow. Oh my god, what a great call! Already holding up as Art goes for the drill. Is ready to chase down off the V shift. I think you're exactly right. Shocks is so. Shocks has a finger on the pulse of what Art is doing here. Jesus,
like,
everything that Art is doing that has an answer, Shocks is demonstrating that answer.
Yeah, like if you look at what he's doing, like for instance, when he did the regular fireball, the V skill powered up fireball, right? And he's already doing like heavy elbow through it, or like right there, when he V-shifted back, he's like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna put you in block stun real quick with this plus 3 or plus 4 forward fierce. I think it's plus 4 now.
Oh my god, Art getting scooped, man, is choosing to get thrown on his wake up.
Oh, woke up with drill. Oh.
Wow, the blow up on the medium kick from Art has to slide activate, just try to get out of the corner now.
Yeah, it has the corner situation, but yeah, like Shocks with a really big life lead. Yeah, Arturo's gonna have to do a lot to make it back. But that's plus 5.
And this is tough, right? Because Shocks is demonstrating a willingness to counter poke, and the counter poke calls that he's making have been huge.
Very rewarding.
In his favor.
Yeah. All right, Shocks is sitting on trigger. Wow.
Oh, what a smart back throw.
Yeah, like to throw in that situation. I mean, great call. Shocks.
Yeah, I mean, to even, I mean, I wouldn't even have. I was purely expecting to still be in block stun, right? Like to just have the presence of mind, even if you're just mashing it out of like, hey, just in case.
All right, Arturo on full offense. That's going to situation. Wow, stole a really big turn after that plus slide.
Right.
Cheating
out some extra turns though is Shocks. There's the trigger activation, the slight walk back. Oh my god, man is chaining some plus frames.
Oh, good side switch from Arturo. Kind of switch up the timing a little bit, just to keep Shocks guessing. Wow, that ball is bouncing.
It is, but the good patience from Shocks, right? You can see that like he's largely trying to take the risks in spots where he feels secure in doing so. I like that he keeps representing elbow underneath. Oh my god, you are not safe. Do not think that you can walk back.
That was a bit of a walk that Shocks took. Man was walking. Alright, but Arturo,
he had to get the steps in.
Yeah, Arturo, I think this is the first round Arturo has taken in the set.
Yeah, and I mean, it was wild, right? A complete dominating offense in the beginning, gets Shocks to the corner, but then still had to bring it back to the neutral to pull away. And now, I mean, not dissimilar here, off to a life lead, but Shocks, once Shocks gets into that spot and starts running the offense,
wow,
it's so oppressive.
Speaking about the offense, you saw that sequence that Arturo just did with that one EX fireball? Alright, gets a side switch with the EX fireball again. Wake up super. Alright, goes for the max damage that he could get in that situation. I actually kind of wonder if that's the best Dhalsim could do. Like, I wonder if he can Tiger Knee a teleport and get a full jump in, you know?
I don't know. It ended up working out. One thing that I think Art has clued into is Art's Gale timing has been really good. I think he's identified that Shocks is teching in these particular contexts. And the Gale keeps blowing him up. I feel like Shocks is starting to crumble a little bit defensively.
Yeah, like what I noticed too, like the answers that Shocks came in with early on in the first game aren't nearly as frequent as they were. Yeah, oh yeah, you want tech throws? Okay, that's the viewer rush right there. Doesn't want to take that drill. It might have been, I think it's up to +6. It could be, but I don't think it was +6 in that situation. Probably +4.
So after everything that's happened, look at now how much respect Art is getting as the offender and how little Shocks was counter-striking.
Alright, but All right, good, really good tech from Arturo. You got to stop the bleeding at this point because you saw how quickly the match can be taken by Shock. Oh, it goes to the unblockable full
Oh, he
punish.
was ready for that.
Yeah. Yeah, like that. I mean, that's a scary unblockable because of the damage you can get from it, and if you get hit with a raw hit too. Well, also it's one of the more unsafe ones because if you pull the trigger on it and you don't hold the button until unblockable, if it's blocked, it's very negative.
The slight walk back there for Art. I feel like Art is just defensively kind of wizened up a little bit to Shocks, but that's a big hit here for Shocks now.
Oh, counter hit is.
But Art seems more comfortable picking his spots to go in on offense a little bit too.
All right, yeah, that carpet is putting in some work. Activate here.
Activation.
I think that was an up back that got like clocked. Oh, he does it again.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's just something that he's doing in those gaps. I don't know if it's his sort of natural tendency maybe to like delay tech in these contexts, because that's part of what's getting blown up by Gale, right? Maybe it's just the sort of default defensive decision that Shocks goes for.
I mean, it is like maybe Shocks thought that the fireball was fully blocked, and Arturo like double dashed, and it was like, oh, now it's a punish now. Oh, to be fair though, I actually wonder how Shocks reacts against Ed when he puts that trigger, because well, after the match I'll talk about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty even on health so far. Okay, trigger has been expended.
Oh wow, brave from Shocks. I was actually
Are
waiting for.
No, he's not
No,
dead.
just barely not. But the walk up low short closes it out.
Oh yeah,
and
Shocks
this is semifinals, so I think that does it for Shocks.
Yeah,
it does.
Yeah, you see the nycfurby has left the room.
I mean, as close and as tight as that was, I mean, it was I liked the adjustments that Art had made. You could see that in the beginning he was sort of getting blown up for how he was structuring his offense. Shocks was making some big reads on when and how he could counter poke, and it was working out great. You saw in the game too, like, I feel like Art made two adjustments, right? One was specifically blowing up the tendency to tech from Shocks, which reopened the ground game up so that Art could play more like mid-rangey and like start to do more proper strike throw stuff. But I feel like what happened was once he had laid that groundwork and then got Shocks to a point where he was not teching, it slowed the game down enough that Shocks felt comfortable turning back into the aggressor, and the end of it looked a lot like the beginning of it.
That's true. Like Shocks did at one point. Shocks didn't want tech throws. That one time, the two times that he did tech throws with that EX fireball, like being used as a shield. And I saw Arturo was definitely trying to push him out of the EX fireball so that he can like extend the pressure and the range of that tool. But like Shocks was like throwing, and I alluded to Ed and using his trigger. So let me clarify what I was trying to say.
Okay.
So now Ed players have a tendency of when they activate of standing around us, they usually dash you out of it, and then they try to extend how much they can use that trigger, right? So they start doing strongs, dash forward strongs, and whatnot, right? Now, if you ever play an Ed player and they do standing around us, usually they do the slow one so that they can do that. The slow one has a humongous gap. You can always EXDP through it, or super, or whatever you want to do, right? Okay. Now, if they know that you're going to do that, they're going to do the fast one. And here's what happens if they do the fast one. If they have to double dash to push you out of it, but when they double dash, they're -5. So like you double dash and you mash on throw, and you throw them the other direction because they can't push you out of it. Because they're putting, because there's no gap in between standing around us fast trigger. So you just take it. So here's what you do. If you do standing around us and they do trigger, you mash DP. It doesn't come out, you mash V reversal. And then it covers both situations. But if you didn't choose one and then you notice it's the fast one and they double dash, you just throw them. And I wonder if Shocks kind of has that muscle memory in that situation to just back throw.
Well, before we get to, there's not going to be a whole lot of Ed to look at today, but we are going to now see the losers finals match. Zaferino back in the lobby here.
All right, Shocks already kind of like relatively in. This well, it was the sweet spot where Alex wants to be. Clean jumping. Oh, and the challenge from Zaf too. I'm not really sure what Shocks are trying to do, but got a couple of missed inputs.
All right. Big damage. There's the DP representation from Zaf once again. Oh, Rocket V skill 1 this time, using the Angry Scar.
Yep. Trying to get all the damage. Trigger 1 is active. Got 2 cannons ready. Oh yeah, that was an attempted DP.
Yeah, I definitely believe that Zaf is going to try to react to that. But I feel like we watched it in the iDom matchup as well. I feel like Zaf is a little bit late on these reactions a little bit. We saw it a lot with like getting counter hit while trying to check dashes. And then just there, you know, wanting to DP the EX knee drop and getting clipped for it.
Oh, got a neutral jump there. And yeah, I see why Zaf is going for the B skill 1. You know, because just in case you just want the maximum damage, plus you want to push Alex back so you get more space.
Right.
While doing damage. Zaf,
yeah,
able to
I think he's
defend.
playing this really well. I think it's just a question of like Shocks is unafraid to use that 1 EX bar to EX knee through the fireball offense. So I feel like, and you can kind of see Zaf slowing down a little bit now that there's the X bar in play, because he knows that he needs to be mindful of throwing out the fireballs.
Good punish. Gets so much real estate. Alright, Shocks is sitting on trigger.
Ooh.
It might
We saw
not
that
matter
same
now.
sort of whiff trap from Zaf against iDom as well. Like too far away to get anything really. Ooh, ready. We had seen that dive work out really well in the matchup against Art. I have to imagine Zaf was doing his homework.
Oh, speaking about doing their homework.
He was
Exactly.
ready.
The right answer. To be honest with you, I think Zaf could have just woke up EXDP on that setup. Like, because I think whatever parry that you could do, you can't parry at that point. I think EXDP would just work. But the V shift was kind of cute.
I mean, technically, I suppose it can lead to more damage. Maybe it was optimal.
Yeah, it was the optimal way to punish it. All right, but I'm sure that Shocks will keep that in mind next time Zaf is in that situation. All right, gets stomped.
Wake up DP. Zaf is representing these reversals in this round.
I know, and so far, Shocks has not baited it out as yet.
No, and this same thing, I feel like we saw it with Shocks in the Art matchup as well. I feel like there's a tendency when frustrated in the ground game to go to the air. Shocks really looks like that other type of Alex, right? I had this conversation with someone, it might have been at CEO, where like, there's really two kinds of Alexes. The greed from Zaf not going for the stun, not finishing the combo. Come on, guy.
I mean, I can see the reason why, but at the same time, I don't know.
As Sagat, right? Like your walk speed is so slow, you were too far away to like really be able to walk in and do the throw. Like that was greedier than if like a Karen or a Cammy did it. Let's be real.
Yeah, but at this point, it doesn't seem to be hurting that much because he won the game. But at the same time, I wouldn't have done that. I would have pulled the trigger in the combo. But
yeah, no.
But you know what?
Same.
Zaf is the one playing his game. You know, he has a rhythm. He knows what he wants to do in the matchup, right? And also like, maybe Zaf did consider doing the DP there, but it looked kind of far when the standing around us hit. So maybe the hesitation on doing the DP was because I don't know if this down strong is gonna combo because it might be too far. Just trying to give him the benefit of the doubt there.
Yeah. Oh, so what I was saying before I had to call out Zaf for betting it all on black was, I feel like I had a conversation about, like, there's two kinds of Alexes. They're the Alexes that just want to run in and mix your stuff, and then there's the Alexes that are completely content to, like, show you that Street Fighter 4 Zangief thing of just, like, literally staying and playing footsies with you the whole time. And being content to use the strength of, like, that standing strong and stuff. And Shox definitely looks to me like he wants to be running that mix.
Yeah, like, I mean, to be fair, Alex wouldn't really win long term in a footsie battle against Sagat, you know, like with a good fireball game.
Which is, and that's also true for the sim matchup as well.
Exactly.
It may just be a representation of, like, these matchups are ones where he can't play that game.
Yeah, like, oh, why did it knock him down? Yeah. All right, but they both have trigger, and Shox gets to pull the trigger first on the activation, so to speak.
Oh man, Zaf actually clipped reach, and once again, I feel like Zaf's reaction's just a little bit off. That counter hit off the whiffed lariat.
All right, but yeah, that being said, Zaf is still on set point. This can still be a 3-0. Shox trying to prevent that from happening. Shox with a very, okay, does not. Maybe okay. I was gonna say has a slight life lead, but now Zaf has a life lead.
Okay, the V-shift back. Yeah, this is a great spot for Zaf to be in. You've got that little bit of bar. You can see that he's comfortable enough to really use his V-gauge just to make sure the matchup stays this way.
Yep. Yeah, Shox. Not a lot of room to make any more mistakes. Or many mistakes.
Yeah. And even, I mean, this difficulty here, right? It was always going to be going to the air. There was no bar, and Shox seemed... The tendency in those spots is either EX knee drop as the big party starter or going to the air. And Zaf was ready with the DP and earns a spot back up in Grand Finals. And I think, just like our Winners Finals, if I recall correctly, last week's Grand Finals was also Zaf iDom?
No, it was Spaceboy iDom.
Oh, Spaceboy made it. Okay.
Like EX head stomp is kind of the neutral skip. You know, it's a +5 on block move, pretty fast. You can control the spacing, so you can make it go forward more, you can make it go backwards more. Like it doesn't exactly home in on the character, so you can even overshoot them if you want to, right? So in situations where I think my opponent is pretty fast, you know, they can DP on a dime, right? Maybe I might want to overshoot them, or maybe I might want to go just short, just to test those reactions or make them hesitate. So now. I think in the first game when Shox did it and Zaf got stomped, I think it was a DP attempt because it didn't have any V-shifts. But every follow-up attempt in that situation, you saw the V-shift being used to punish. And then later on, Shox was going to, like, the short stomps instead of going directly to Sagat to bait out those things. But the problem with that is Zaf used the V reversal or V-bar to, you know, go back to neutral. And you used an EX bar, and it didn't lead to anything because Sagat is still in neutral where he wanted to be, even got a little bit further away.
Exactly. The utilization of the EX bar was to bypass neutral. And if you're using the EX bar to bait a call from Zaf, and the thing that he uses brings him to neutral, all you've done is trade resources and end up exactly where you were trying not to be.
Exactly. And then, like, where you would want to, like, use your EX bar. Now you don't have it now. Like, you don't have it to get the party started anymore. And then on top of that too, then because the EX stomps weren't working out, then he had a tendency to go to the air. And it wasn't like a regular jump. It was that floaty dive. And that floaty dive, not for nothing, it isn't that hard to anti-air. But what it's used for is to change the timing up, maybe get you to DP earlier, get you to DP later, because he kind of hovers in the air a little bit. But Zaf was not fooled. But going back to this Grand Finals, iDom versus Zaf. Hmm. All right, still, the first set was very close. Zaf got put in a spot where I had to guess for the set. Not even just the game, just set.
Oh, okay. Next hit for stun. The shimmy does not end up working, but the fireball does work out, and we are already demonstrating the same problem that we saw in the winner's side of the match, which was as soon as iDom gets that first presidentiality level, Jesus, we did not see that particular tool utilized at all in the first set.
I was actually wondering when that was gonna come, because you don't have to fuzzy Sagat. It's just an instant overhead. Yeah. You know who used to do that a lot, to the point where I didn't want to throw them anymore? Chris Who.
Oh god.
Yeah, like I was like when he got put into +2 situations, he was jumping like into that. And I'm like, oh god. Like I was like, yeah, I can't. Yeah, I was like, yo, I can't throw this guy. Like
that presidentiality is up, but you see that Zaf, it looks like Zaf is trying to pick a range from just inside of the fireball where he can try to stop iDom from throwing it.
Yeah.
That's obviously easier said than done.
Yeah. One thing he can possibly do, but the thing is, iDom isn't throwing fireballs that recklessly. You can trade with high EX Tiger Shot. You could take the hit on it and get the knockdown.
What an empty jump. Okay, well this is Zaf sticking with Angry Scar for this this matchup now this time. That's an interesting call.
Oh, okay.
It's working out there. Catching out that little bit of extra damage.
Yeah, I had to use the double cannon there. I'm not gonna lie, I would use the A. Because I was like, will this EXT keep doing? But fortunately for Zaf, you know, did the math, calculated properly.
Oh no, just a little too far away. Spins the V shift because he wants to stay in neutral. Oh, what a call out that was.
I think that was a messed up input, to be fair. I'm not sure what Zaf was trying to do, but
yeah.
I don't think
I think he needs to get the lever checked in his stick for that kind of.
Yeah, that was like
gets away with the charge.
I don't know, that was like a crouching strong fireball that ended up becoming jump backwards strong. Oh,
wow. iDom playing real aggressive right now. Really, it looks like maybe wanted that presidential level before he went for activate. We're not going to activate now, though. Instead, we're going to lose out on the round and the first game.
Yeah, like, I don't know where, like, iDom was very insistent on getting in. And took a lot of damage getting in until the standing jab into EX. The EX punches landed, but like was super insistent, and I mean he was rewarded with the corner, but at the same time Zaf. The thing is, because you have to think of the last game though, because Zaf is definitely willing to DP, so you see iDom being very unwilling to mix him up.
But like we saw a lot of DP from Zaf in the match against Shocks a second ago, but we only really saw it the one time in winners finals.
That's true. Alright. A little bit too far for that counter strong. And Zaf's playing the matchup from like a different spacing now. Not really a neutral spacing, but more of like inside of like medium pokes.
Yeah, and you can see. I think it's that call of like, all right, once that presidentiality is up, I straight up cannot play this outside range. The fireball just beats me. I need to play in that more, you know, range one, mid range kind of thing.
Yeah. And both of the characters. Yeah. Oh. There's so much. Yeah.
His health bar just exploded there.
Yeah, it was funny that they were both playing like relatively close, and both of them have very long limits. Alright, spins both EXs. Just get this corner situation ready for the jump attempt. Push counter. Able to get this full screen. Tried to sneak in another presidentiality level.
Yeah, one thing to notice is I feel like Zaf is trying to cheat V-skills way less, and is instead, in every opportunity at full screen when it looks like iDom is going to throw out a V-skill and get a presidential level, Not a V skill, just the presidential level. Oh, what a whiff on the DP. But Zaf is throwing a fireball to make sure that iDom doesn't just get to do it.
Yes. Yeah, like part of the matchup, there's a mini game that you play, because like obviously G's kind of playing a mini game. He's trying to play his neutrals, trying to get the damage, but he's also trying to like level up. And the thing is though, if you prevent him from leveling up, the matchup's pretty even between the characters, right? In fact, I would say Sagat has a bigger advantage because of how B skill got weakened.
Right.
Like at least neutral. If you're playing like fireball spacing. All right, he's gonna activate trigger.
Oh, doesn't get a big punish on. I mean, could you have I feel like you could have like Kara DP'd to try to get a bigger punish there.
I think you can, but depending where he backdash from, it might not reach. Like if it was like a max range command grab and you backdash, I wouldn't trust the Kara DP.
This is huge. Zaf keeps going for empty jump and is spacing the empty jumps immaculately to specifically dance around iDom's choice in anti-air. Oh wow!
Disrespectful.
That was mad disrespectful. But sometimes you gotta meet them with that energy, right?
Yeah. I bet you he's smiling about that.
That's one of those, you get smacked by that, you're like, okay. Okay. It's one of those that I would be the type of person to just immediately be like, all right, let's not even, I don't even want to take a second and think about that one, because if I let that one linger, it's gonna break me.
I kind of wonder what iDom was looking for. Whatever he was looking for, I guess he was looking for those ankles. He got them.
Yeah. He found them.
Yeah, they're over here.
Oh. Zaf with the sweep block again, but is ready with the Kara uppercut that time.
Yep. iDom is in trigger, so you can bet a random hit is gonna lead to damage. Oh, and these empty jumps aren't being spaced well now.
Yeah. The empty jumps that were working well for Zaf are specifically like outside of that. What is it? Towards strong, towards fierce, towards punch from G that he's been canceling a lot of. Finds that low like, forward confirm that you've called out that iDom seems to love so much about this loadout. But yeah, Zaf is specifically standing just outside of that range. These closer range jumps, I feel like iDom has different tools for it, and the fact that it's an empty jump just kind of doesn't really matter.
I wonder, like, a feature, like, iDom is doing it on block. I wonder how to punish that. Because it seems to be like a range where you can't really Kara DP. It's a bit ambiguous how far it is. But iDom does have a significant life lead going into in this third game. Trying to pick it up. Corner almost has CA, has a good jump out. Didn't activate trigger off of that.
This is a tough hill to climb here for Zaf. Oh no, he had found the counter hit, but he didn't believe, and it cost him the round fundamentally in the game. It is now 2-1 for iDom.
Yeah, it stumbles down that hill. The hill has actually gotten larger now with this 2-1 lead. Oh, it's okay, so it's -28. Oh, you have to forward dash to understand.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Perhaps Zaf doesn't.
Or reversal EX Tiger Shot. Maybe something like that. Something weird.
Right, a much stronger round here for Zaf.
It hasn't even been touched as of yet. As I say that.
That's what I was gonna say. I was like, G has that big party starter, the EXDP representation coming out from Zaf again. And I like that Zaf is a player who is often not dissuaded from doing that. Like he understands the
Can't be.
importance of representing these tools and keeping them on the mental stack.
Yeah, you. Oh,
Oh my god,
speaking
you
of the
really got
mental
away with
stack,
that?
I think I feel like that was an accident, and and both of them were probably like, oh no, I accidentally did that, and iDom was like, oh my god, I let him get away with that.
All right, this is another fantastic looking round here for Zaf, and keeps using these EX fireballs, and I like that he's making sure to use these EX fireballs to get the knockdowns to keep the presidentiality under control.
All right, B shift, B break. Guess that stays. Oh,
Ooh, stands up into it. 2 games apiece.
yeah, like yeah, that slow high tiger shot can be very tricky. Like if you try to like navigate past it, and you can do cool tricks with it too. Like for instance, if you do one from like, I don't know, half screen, and then as soon as it gets right above the opponent's head, you could drag the screen and pull it back. So when it starts going past them, you just backdash and you pull the screen. So then it pulls the fireball back with it because you shifted the screen.
Oh, has the DP. Still no checks on these dashes, but I think Zaf has found that rhythm from this slightly farther range, and iDom is having much more difficulty trying to find the presidentiality that he was finding so easily in the winner side version of this set.
Yeah, just raw activates it, and it's almost like Zaf is listening to me as he forward dashes to try to get the punish.
Some presidentiality is up, but any poke would do it. Spins the V reversal. And that standing medium kick once again, sit the hell down the button.
Alright, but Zaf once again on set point.
Cheats, tries to cheat a second level, but Zaf has the resource to trade for it here. Brings iDom back to just the 1.
Yeah, but nevertheless, it's the first level.
I mean, the first level is, like you said, the first level is the important one.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be helping out as much as level 2. I don't know if it's level 2 or level 3, because do you count base form as level 1?
No, I count it level 0, level 1, and level 2.
Okay. Oh no. If Zaf is not careful, this life bar might be going straight to 0. Oh, that was cute. That was cute.
Alright, there's a bar on display from Zaf. You need to be mindful of EXDP or your health bar could just be deleted. Okay, we are at reset / tournament point.
I know, when I saw the first viewer so I was like, oh, if he does that again, I think iDom is gonna notice. Alright, pretty even on health so far.
But the EX Fireball is just this. I feel like Zaf is somehow doing a better job this set of just having the meter available for the EX Fireball to manage the presidentiality too. Oh, yeah. Great cross under from iDom.
I mean, I guess a lot of that is being very aware of not using a lot of EX Fireballs while you're in neutral, and specifically looking for activation. Alright, still very even a note. As I say that.
We are at Presidentiality 3, and iDom very nearly has CA, but he's not going to need it. The Bully EX low rush punch once again from iDom closes it out.
Yeah, that's another reason why you want to prevent him from getting max presidentiality, because then he can start using EXs or whatever, like, to be safe.
Right. Yeah, it was tough. It really came down to, I think Zaf made a lot of meaningful changes in order to try to limit the presidentiality, but
you know what though,
especially
iDom took one risk, or like kind of extend, or like not overextended, but it went for a little bit more that one time that led to winning that set in that game right there, was when Zaf punished the second presidentiality level, right? With the EX shot,
Mhm.
walk forward, Kara heavy DP, and then immediately he went to a car to Angry Scar. But
Right.
like right there, iDom chose to tech up and forward dash immediately and tick standing jab into command grab instead of taking a presidentiality level or anything like that, right? Chose to like, oh, I think he's gonna go for V skill now. Now I can steal a turn because now he's 50 frames down and I can at least forward dash and maybe not get a punish, but I can start pressuring. And because of that one decision, I feel like Zaf shouldn't have went for Angry Scar right there, and should have maintained neutral.
Yeah, it's difficult, right? I feel like one of the difficult things that you deal with in playing Sagat is like your V skills are valuable, right? Like
Yes.
they're valuable tools. They bring something meaningful to the table. But sometimes like they're not so valuable that it's just a de facto choice that you should be going for them in favor of doing something else. Like
Well,
you're talking about these contexts where like maybe just keeping control of the neutral would have been a bigger deal.
yeah. I mean, to be fair, item wasn't really. That was. I think that was the only time that item did that.
Hmm.
Like actually, it was like, oh, you know what? He's going for V skill every single time he has his DP. I think most Sagat players would. To be
Right.
fair, you can't like in that situation. I'm not sure if there are a lot of characters that can punish that situation, but at the same time, like, but what item did was the very smart thing to do. Like, I need to get in. He's gonna
Yeah.
give me the frame advantage to get in, and so I can get from point A to point B quite easily. I took this damage, but now I'm where I wanted to be.
Yeah. I think that's a good call, and obviously it ended up working out with
Yep,
IDOM. Congratulations to IDOM once
yep.
again. No big surprises, right? We've had to congratulate IDOM for winning Community Throwdown Street Fighter V, no shortage of times.
Many tournaments, to
Zaferino,
be fair.
a great showing on second, so close. And then obviously Shocks for third and nycfurby for fourth
Mm,
to round out this week's Community Throwdown for Street Fighter V. But we got Guilty Gear still for y'all too. I'm looking
oh
over
yeah,
at this Guilty Gear bracket,
oh
and
yeah.
it
Look into
looks
this
like we've
bracket.
got Shine versus Bean in the winners bracket in the winners finals. And
Going through.
does that
Oh,
say
we have
Trevword versus
Trev. Where
Razzo?
I'm not sure. I've never seen Trevor play before. Razo, I know, very strong Leo player. Obviously, we talk about Shine. Shine is very synonymous with Potemkin. His name.
Right. And Bean
Bean,
was Chip. I think we saw Bean last week, right?
super strong ship player.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point in time, even though I don't know who Trevor is, at this point in time, if you're at here in the bracket, you must be very strong.
Yeah, I mean that's the reasonable assumption, right? But yeah, so we're going to cut to a quick break. So
Mm.
everybody make sure you go and grab some water or protein bar or whatever the hell you need. Because we're gonna be back here in just a couple of minutes to bring you guys that top four of Guilty Gear Strive here with East Coast Throwdown presents Community Throwdown. Keep it locked.